Usec yung nationwide rollout, are there non-negotiables? For example, will you require that all children be vaccinated first? All the students? Kasi mag-umpisa na daw by January yung pediatric vaccination to the younger children. Eh. Well, are you going to wait for that before the nationwide rollout?
No, the vaccination of children is not a requirement. This is precisely why we have these stringent protocols in place. But of course, that is a favorable factor for greater confidence. What is required is that all teachers and non-teaching personnel that will directly interact with the children should be vaccinated. And of course, we are also encouraging the full vaccination of the households, particularly those that are vulnerable at the households. But for the children themselves, we will not wait for the full vaccination of the children. You mentioned their bottom line. The bottom line is, one, they must pass the school safety assessment tool, and we are also have been authorized by the interagency body for the safety seal program to be an authorized agency to confer such safety seal to our schools. And then they must be in areas under alert levels 1 and 2. And we will still maintain for the expansion phase next year yung requirement of LGU Chief Executive concurrence as well as permit-based. Hindi pa compulsory ito sa mga estudyante. They still need the permit of their parents as a transition before the government declares at some point in the future that the new normal where we return to most activities, and probably at that point we can make everything compulsory again like before with respect to physical attendance. But for the expansion phase next year, our position is that we will maintain the shared responsibility framework of face-to-face classes, and therefore we will still require the concurrence of the local government unit as well as the parents. And as I mentioned, this was actually a critical framework in ensuring the smooth rollout of this pilot phase, even if it's arguably a small sample and a fairly manageable sample. But that's really what the pilot is about. In other words, you get the experience in a manageable way, preparatory to an expanded phase.
So Usec, best case scenario, kailan kaya magkakaroon ng nationwide rollout yung face-to-face classes?
Yeah, as early as early next year, because the students, those that are participating in the pilot face-to-face will have their Christmas vacation on December 20. We expect all the participating schools to turn in their reports based on a monitoring and evaluation tool that we have given to them. We will consolidate it to a report, and we will be submitting that to the Office of the President. I saw the recording. It was emphasized to us in the authorization, even in the expansion. The one in Metro Manila is already an expansion of the number of pilot schools. But Malacanang has emphasized that we should not veer away from the concept of the activity as a pilot. So they expect us to report. But given the smooth rollout, we are anticipating a recommendation towards expansion. And the Secretary Briones, has already instructed all of our schools in basic education nationwide to already administer their self-assessment of our readiness tool. And those that will pass are theoretically qualified in the expansion phase as we anticipate the recommendation.
So best case scenario, mga first quarter kaya, roll out na?
Oh yes, yes. Even as early as January, if we will be have a favorable
Omicron notwithstanding.
You know, the Omicron, we're in close touch with DOH, our counterparts in DOH. And right now, the effect of Omicron with respect to our guidelines, as far as I am aware, is with respect to international travel. But with respect to our internal protocols, it is more a reminder to really strictly follow. But there is still no additionality. Now, of course, we cannot anticipate how this will turn in. But this is as I mentioned, at some point, we can compare this to the storm signal. If it becomes a problem, then it will factor into the alert level of any area. In other words, what could be your alert level 1 or 2 can be elevated to alert level 3. And like the typhoon signals, then that will be a basis for us to suspend face-to-face classes. So, in other words, we are not preempting that aspect. We rely on the technical expertise of our Department of Health counterparts in that regard.